Welcome back, everybody, to The Colonel Does Novus Inceptio. It is nighttime. It is nighttime. I did not want to wait another 15 or 20 minutes for it to become daytime. My apologies, but I don't think we're going to be really needing to look too much at the actual game screen because we're going to be doing some number crunching in this episode. And today I want to cover Armour and how to make it and kind of my suggestion on how to basically what you need to do to get the armor or what armor to go with initially. So let's get right into it. So if you go into your crafting menu, you're going to look at armors. And armor, you have two different types of armor, I guess. You've got your basic armor, which is like a tier 0, I guess. And then the rest of it, which I think is like the equivalent of tier 0, but it's better. I don't know at this point if they've actually got it in the game where the protection and the durability is different for these. I don't believe that is the case. I think the quality might be better with these ones, but I don't think it actually matters at this point. I know that they are planning on putting all of that in the game. I don't know if it's there yet. So the higher the tier item and the better quality it is and the better skill you have, you might be able to get like a tier 1 waist or a tier 2 waist armor, which would increase the durability of the item and it would reduce the amount of damage that you take. But I don't think that's in the game yet. So it's really a wash at this point. And to be quite honest, there's not really a lot in the game that's going to be of a danger to you, with the exception of the wolves and if you attack any of the lobsters or anything like that. So at this point it's probably not a big deal, but in my mind, if you're gonna get some armor, I would say just get the armor. Why fiddle around? But let me kind of tackle this separately. So I want to tackle these three guys because this is the easiest to attain. And if you really want to feel like you're safe, even though you are, you can start out with this sort of armor to begin the game. So this armor here, both the chest, the legs, and the boots. The exception with the boots is that you need one piece of leather, but for the rest of it, it's just cloth and fibers. So for the chest basic, you need 3 cloth and 2 fibers. So all of this stuff, so cloth is made up of thread, and thread is made up of fibers. So basically you're looking at fiber to do everything. And fiber requires leaves. So you're going to have to harvest a whole whack load of leaves. The benefit here is that in doing that and grinding out and gathering all of those leaves, you're actually increasing your skills, and you're going to start noticing that you're going to be pulling out like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 leaves, which are higher quality. So you're going to get better quality stuff. So that by the time it does come around, that they put this in the game, you're going to have some really good stuff. Now, the other plus side is that by that time, you probably want to regather all the stuff, and maybe by that point the combat will be at a point where you can actually kill stuff a lot easier, and you can make leather-based armor instead of cloth. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So you've got your chest, which is 3 cloth and 2 fiber, your legs, which is 2 cloth and 1 fiber, and your boots, which is a cloth, a fiber, and a piece of leather. So to make this whole set with 3 items, it's going to require you basically to harvest 120 leaves, give or take, at least 120 leaves. So the way I would approach this is to just get your leaves, and then you're going to want to make from those leaves 40 fibers. So you just go here, auto-populate it, and autofill, and then set this to 40. So you want to craft 40 fibers. And then from the fibers, you want to craft 17 thread. And there it is. So you want to craft 17 thread. And then from the thread, you're going to want to craft 6 cloth, which is basically 3 thread for each cloth. And then you're going to obviously need the leather. So for the chest, it's going to require at least 60 leaves. For the legs, it's going to require about 39 leaves. And for the boots, it's going to require 21 leaves and a leather. So that's kind of the breakdown. So it's not too onerous, especially considering if you go to any of the trees or the bushes around here, the boxwoods or the azaleas or even the willows. You can probably harvest like 10 to 15 leaves each one that you hit. So, I mean, that's for 120 leaves, that might be, I don't know, what, 10 trees or 10 bushes or something on average. So that's not too bad. And then you can craft all of this. And obviously the benefit of crafting all of this is that your tailoring skill is going to increase as well. So that when you actually make this, you could make like tier 1, tier 2 cloth. And then when you finally get into making your armor, which is also tailoring, it's going to increase your skill there as well. Obviously, this one, I think we're in level 2 tailoring, which is great. So we have a 100% success rate, and our quality is going to be between 067 and 071. And I guess if we get into tier 3, then our quality is going to increase. Our quality range is going to increase. So that's good. So that's basically how you make your basic armor. Personally, I would go with the rest of it, because you're going to have to harvest the leaves for this stuff anyway. And if you've been following the series up to this point, you will have already gotten some iron and stuff. So we already have 40 iron ingots already made up. And we've got all of these things that we've harvested, all of these leaves. So we've got what, 100, we've got about 200. Well, actually, I might need some more leaves. I thought I had enough. Oh no. So I'd say we have 200 and just over 200 leaves. So when we're looking at, we actually are going to need more. So when we're looking at the next level of armor, all of this stuff requires cloth packs or leather packs. So as we saw in the last episode, combat is not the most robust thing in the world in this game, and really the only thing you're going to really be able to combat are the rabbits. Possibly the wolves as well. You're going to take a lot of damage there, so it might take a little longer. But the leather packs require 2 leather each, and each leather requires 2 leather raw. And I can't remember the number. I think you might get 2 leather or maybe 3 on an animal after you've killed it. So that's a lot of animals you're going to have to kill, and you probably could do that with the bunny rabbits, but I think it would be a lot quicker to get the cloth. And again, at this point, there's not really a lot in the game, and I don't think they've got the damage modifiers in place that, making this better armor is going to protect you any better than this. So I would just go with the cloth, to be honest. So it would take a lot less to get all that. Crafting might take a little longer, but you're not running around after little bunny rabbits trying to find them. You're not going to be able to kill deer. Killing deer is going to be a real pain because there's no ranged weapons yet, and every time you hit them, they run away. So you're going to lose a lot of stamina when you're fighting deer, even rabbits for that matter. Your stamina is going to go down because you're going to be running after them. So, and it takes a few hits to kill each one. So it's a lot easier to go with the cloth. So that's what I'm going to choose to do. So to get this whole set of armor here, you are going to require, actually you're not going to require any leather at all, but you are going to require 7 ingots, because each piece of armor here is going to require an ingot. So what we have, and probably should have looked into this before. I'm not sure if we can overlap any of these, because if you look at your character sheet, right? Yeah, okay, it does work. Okay, so that we do have a shoulder piece, a slot for that. Perfect. So let's start with the waist, right? So the waist is going to require a cloth pack or a leather pack. So let's default the cloth pack, and it's going to require 2 fiber, and it's going to require an ingot. So the cloth pack, and I'm going to go into a table here, and it's going to be the same for the boots, the gloves. You know, I'll kind of break out each one as we go. So the cloth pack is made up of 2 cloth, and each cloth is made up of 3 threads, and each thread is made up of 2 fiber, and each fiber is made up of 3 leaves. So when you're looking at the waist, you're looking at a cloth pack, which is going to be 12 fiber total. So you're going to craft 12 fiber, and then from the 12 fiber, you're going to craft 6 thread, and then from that, you're going to make 2 cloth, and then you're going to add an additional 2 fiber, add an ingot, which basically totals out to about 42 leaves plus 1 ingot. So the breakdown is going to be for the waist, boots, gloves, helmet, shoulder, chest, and legs. You're going to need 42 leaves, and you're going to need an ingot for each one of them. You're going to need 42 leaves for the waist, 42 for the boots, 42 for the gloves, 39 for the helmet, 42 for the leaves, for the leaves, 42 for the shoulder, 45 for the chest, and 45 for the legs. So that's the leaf breakdown. So if you want to look at it from like an overall suit perspective, then to make all of these pieces, you're going to need to have about 300 leaves. So I think the actual total is about 297 leaves. And that will make, from that you'll need to make 99 fibers. So that would include the additional fiber that's required outside of the packs. So you're going to need to have 99 fiber crafted, and then from that 99 fiber you're going to craft 42 thread, and then from that 42 thread you're going to craft 14 cloth, and then you're also going to add 7 ingots. So as long as you've got all of that kind of done, so you got your 99 fiber, from that your thread, and then your cloth, and then your ingots, you should be good to go. So I am going to go ahead and craft a bunch of this stuff. I'll see how long it takes me to craft it. Actually, I need to go harvest some more leaves, because I've only got, as I say, probably about 210 leaves or so. So I need to harvest another 100 leaves, which shouldn't take me very long. Should be another maybe 10 boxwoods or something like that, or even 10 azaleas, and I think I can harvest them from over here with the willow trees too. So let me do that, and I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I noticed, just kind of out of curiosity, I was looking at the stats. So it looks as though when you're doing the leaves and the branches and stuff, you're harvesting stuff from bushes and from trees. Not only does your forestry skill increase, but your botany skill increases as well. So that will be, and again, I don't know if they've actually implemented this in the game or not, but I think the higher the skill with your botanizing and your forestry, the better the materials you're going to get. So if you go into, like if you go looking for seeds and stuff, like out here, and you use your botany skill, you should at some point, I think, have a better chance of getting good stuff from that area. I don't think there's a lot here. I don't know if you can use that in the water or not. Oh, you can. So look at that, tier 3 alga. So yeah, you can the quality material that you're gonna get. So you might get a tier 2 seed, I guess, or something like that. Again, I don't know if that's gonna help or anything right now, but I think at some point down the road it will. So at least you're gonna be able to get your skills up to a point where when it does matter, you've already put in the time, so everything will just be a lot easier at that point. So anyway, just thought it was an interesting side note that you could do that. So let me go ahead and start crafting a bunch of this stuff. So we now have over 300 leaves. I'm gonna have to I think it automatically fills in the tier when you do the autofill. But I guess we'll find out. So I'm going to just make a whole crap load of fiber here. So I'm going to go with the next tier of armor. So I'm not going to bother with this lower tier stuff. I'm just going to go right to this stuff here. So let's get our fiber on. And I think we want 99 fiber. 99 fiber, but a thread ain't one. Actually, I think I've got one more fiber. Do I have fiber in inventory? I think I might have used it. Okay. 99 fiber. Let's go. Alright, so we have all of our cloth packs now crafted. So if we go back into armor, we can autofill. There we go, cloth pack. So we can craft our waist. So our tailoring skill, so I guess there's armor smithing, which we have. Maybe this is the requirement, is that we need to have a level 2? I don't know. We don't have metal iron skill, 8% skill in that. So we got, I guess, all these sub skills and stuff. So our skill is about 51%, our success rate is 51%, and the quality is not going to be very good. So we're going to fail a few, but that's okay. Alright, so we got our waist crafted. Let's go to our boots. And I guess we'll come back when all of this stuff is done. Alright, so it's interesting to note that even though we fail some crafting things, that our skill actually does continue to increase even though we failed. So that's cool. And I also noticed that it looks like we require armor smithing level 4 for the chest, and for the legs it's armor 3, for the waist it's armor 2, and it looks as though everything increases. So regardless of whatever tier you're looking at, every time you fail something, your skill increases, or at least your base skill increases, so that if you were to go back to waist, now it's at 78% success rate for level 2, as opposed to level 4, which is now at 39%, and I think we started at like 23%, which is great. So, you know, doing this crafting exercise is going to increase your skill level, which is actually pretty cool. I didn't realize that. Alright, so now we have all of our armor stuff crafted. I moved into the water, hoping that it would reduce the stamina hit, which it seemed to do. Not significantly, but just enough. Alright, so we have all of our stuff crafted here. Let me put this back in our inventory. Okay, so pull up our character sheet. Now we can put all this stuff in there. And we just click on it. Awesome. Sweet. Yes. Now we are a warrior. And we are ready to tackle the world. Awesome. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you have any comments or suggestions, please feel free to leave them below. Hopefully this helped. And I guess next episode, not sure what we're going to do next episode. Perhaps we will sally forth and explore some of the terrain around here. So again, we'll catch you in the next episode.